of the camera and lit you with a torch in a darkened room. And we figured it out that if we were going to actually do that and make this video ourselves, we'd spend like 3 weeks in the studio. So we had dummies made. So Duran Duran really was a bunch of dummies. I'm not going to touch that. I'm just not going to touch that.
Oh, shack it up.
Let's go back to the band, yeah?
Yeah, you get a heated mic, you'd be doing a lot better.
Whoops, whoops, whoops.
Had a love-hate relationship, should we say, with media. You've been media darlings.
No. Can we let's clarify that. The media have had a love-hate relationship with Duran Duran. We never said anything about the media. You know, as far as we're concerned, it's the media. It's a form of expression. It's a way of getting across. I mean, you're one kind of a media.
Well, what kind of media am I, Simon?
Well, no. You're kind of. You're the good kind.
Ah, of course, yes.
No, but I mean, it's a way of getting yourself across.
Electronic media you are.
Yeah, but
No, seriously.
We've had some serious slaggings, particularly in the press.
The worst thing is...
But I think that's what this band's like, you know. We've always inspired an extreme reaction, whether it's love or hate, and I think it's always going to be like that, and we're not scared of it.
Well, the bad thing is, though, we write music, and a lot of times it really has nothing to do with the music. They won't even listen to the album. They'll just say, oh, like for this album, maybe they might just say Duran Duran covering Sly and the Family Stone, please, I don't want, no thank you,
I think there's a more inherent problem with the media and us, really, is when we came out, we sort of signified a big change in music, that whole time period at the beginning of the 80s. It wasn't just us. I mean, there was a lot of bands coming out, and there was a new scene, and it was like bringing in the new guard. And a lot of the journalists that had been there for a while didn't want that. They wanted to cling on to, all the bands from the 70s. Yeah. And it's always the same, and I'm sure that now people that grew up with us are becoming the journalists of the time, and they're going to want to cling to our generation. They don't want some of the younger ones. It's always going to be like that. Then, of course, you'll get a couple of hip acts that come through, and they'll say, right, we'll build them up for 6 months, and then, we'll give somebody else to take shots at. Once you understand what it is, then I think, it makes the whole thing much more palatable.
You know what? We've been talking Toronto. What about the rest of Canada? And any sort of favorite gigs or favorite memories?
It's a nice place to play.
Vancouver?
Yeah. Is that Canada? Yeah, that's Canada. British Columbia.
Yeah, that's Canada.
Oh, Montreal. So we've had some great shows in Montreal at the Le Club, I think it's called.
Edmonton.
Yeah, Edmonton.
Edmonton has that marvellous shopping mall, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. The West Edmonton Mall. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my memory of Edmonton.
We record one once at Medicine Hat.
You did?
We did a live broadcast from a show. So I'm sure it was either Edmonton or Medicine Hat. One or the other.
Quite possible.
Because that was a really good show. We played it in a hotel. I remember driving up to the from the airport and seeing this hotel and sort of tonight performing Duran Duran. I mean, playing at hotels is always pretty scary. It's just, I don't know, it's just the vibe of it.
All-you-can-eat buffet right underneath Duran Duran. It's definitely discouraging.
Inspiration is what you are to me. Inspiration, love to see.
Everybody out. This was the big comeback. This was the wedding album, as you called it in Britain. Here you called it Duran Duran. First of all, why did you call it Duran Duran again?
Because it's our name, and we wanted to remind people, Really, it's that simple. And we hadn't released an album called Duran Duran for about 12 years at the time. And we got the artwork back, actually, and there was just Duran Duran in the middle because we didn't have a title at the time, and it looked so great. And we thought, why clutter it with something else? And that was really it.
So what do? We come back here.
Yeah.
We didn't even bring electric guitars. We had nothing. We had acoustic guitars. We had a string section, and we played. It was a promotional tour, and we just played an acoustic set.
My head
heart is stuck on something precious, let me know. If you're coming down to land, is there anybody out there trying to get through? My eyes so cloudy I can't see you.
When I was outside with a lot of your fans, and there are a lot of fans out there, it surprised me how many of them are very young fans, and many of the bands of your tenure faded.
We don't come over like this kind of aggressive, macho sort of band. I think there's something quite vulnerable about us, and I think that and something quite self-questioning, you know, sort of. And I think that teenagers can identify with that because we're always saying, "Is this right? Is this right?" In the music, it's like I don't quite know what's going on with my life, and that is one of the underlying themes of all of our songs. This is planet Earth. You're looking at planet Earth.
How did it feel to have this huge comeback?
Well, it wasn't that huge. I mean, we could have been coming back doing the CNE, you know, and we came here instead. It was fantastic to come and to play again, you know. We hadn't been on tour for a few years because the Liberty album we didn't tour. And, you know, I think it's good to have a break between tours because then you really enjoy doing them.
Right.
If you just do them all the time, it becomes mundane. And when we did this particular thing, we really hadn't done anything for ages. And, you know, the record had been really well received. And we got this little acoustic show together very, very quickly. So it was a bit rough at the edges, which was kind of nice too. And
So it was about 1992, and the look of Duran Duran had changed drastically at this point.
Hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, we're into velvets and plastic,
leather.
yeah. It was kind of it was a weird sort of like punky retro thing, which we kind of kept with, really.
But haven't we
you know?
always been into velvet, plastic,
No,
leather?
we weren't. No. It was much more designed before that, and this was much more kind of. It was like
Contrived. It was more sort of contrived before that, don't you think?
I always try to contrive everything, Monica.
Do you have any memories about the gig at the Danforth Music Hall?
We did a meet and greet with the record company people across the road there before the show. I just remember this guy in cow pants who wouldn't leave me alone. Do you remember him?
Well, he's going to be calling the station, I'm sure, 'cause I'm sure he remembers because we couldn't stop commenting about his cow pants.
That's my memory. Cow pants, you are my memory.
Okay, everybody back in the van. Back we go. Guys, everybody out of the van. So how was it?
Sorry?
How was it?
That was great. How was it for you, darling?
It was wonderful.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, you know, all those marvellous venues you have in Toronto. What can you say? I just hope we play the big one next time.
Yeah.
A lot of memories.
Yeah, we can't keep going down playing these little things and then big things and...
That's kind of how it goes, though, really, isn't it? Little things and big things, little things and big things.
All of that we showed you because all of that leads up to this. You guys have sold over 30 million albums worldwide, and for the first time ever you've done an album of covers. Some interesting choices. You're going to see what we mean right now. We're going to get you guys inside because in just a few minutes we're going to go live across the nation with Duran Duran. Phone, fax, do whatever you have to communicate with these guys, ask them whatever you want. We're going to show you the first video off of that album, which is called
White Lines.
and then Duran Duran live on Much. Let's go. Thank you for joining us. 15 years in 3 hours and to look at the future. Hi everybody outside. We're live on the air here. Duran Duran is here. Simon, John, Nick, Warren, the whole gang. Nick, I see that you brought your own camera along.
Yeah, this is for the box, actually. It's another show.
So just say hi, I'm the VJ from, and you're watching
Hi,
the
I
box.
work for Much Music. My name's Monica Diol, and all these people are going to help me host this show.
Yeah.
We're also going to have folks phoning, going to have folks faxing, as well as sending us email. In fact, you know what we should do is put those numbers up on the screen right now. Let's do that.
Let's see those computer terminals
Anytime. Here we
work.
go. All right, well, you know what? In the meantime, I want to ask you guys, let's talk about Thank You. Let's talk about 1995. What songs are on it, and how did you pick them?
Well, the songs vary. I think that the biggest depth is between Bob Dylan's song Lay Lady Lay and the Public Enemy song 911 is a Joke.
Yeah.
Johnny chose 911 is a Joke.
Why is that, John?
Well, I really liked that album that it came from, and for about 2 years I thought Public Enemy were making the most interesting music around. And rap had kind of gotten a bad rap from a lot of white musicians, and black musicians actually. I thought it was good to pay homage.
Now see, when we think of Duran Duran, we don't think that you guys listen to Public Enemy sitting in your homes.
What do you think we listen to?
I don't know. Roxy Music.
Right.
You know?
Been there, done
Same
that.
old albums.
Like Sinatra.
We do
Okay.
listen to Roxy music.
We're very influenced by everything that comes out, everything that's around us. We pick up on, and we get the best out of everything that's out in the moment. So
Okay.
right now we like Portishead.
Okay, well, we have a caller standing by right now. Lisa in PEI should be standing by. Lisa, are you there?
Yeah, but I'm in Moncton, New Brunswick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. Well,
Hi, guys.
Hello.
What I wanted to ask about was the Waiting for the Night Boat video that was on the compilation with all the other videos with Save a Prayer and Planet Earth and Careless Memories. Whatever happened to that? I never see it.
What do you mean you never see it? You never see it on TV?
Well, it wasn't
I know, but I asked to play it on TV and nobody ever wants to play
Well,
it.
that's because they didn't even know it existed. Monica just asked me. She said, "Is there really a night boat video?" And I said, "There is actually, yeah." As
Where was it?
happens.
Where was it shot?
In Antigua, down at the Nelson's dock there, mostly.
Nelson's Duck.
In fact, we actually have our manager, our ex-manager, covered in flour and water, like
Hanging upside down.
yeah, hanging up.
Running
That's
all
it
right,
like that.
running on.
Yeah, it's a really cool video. And is there going to be an audio release of the Unplugged in Canada?
No,
We hope so one day.
he thinks so. I think you're
Well, I
right.
hope so. I don't know.
I think it'll always,
That
I
was
think it'll always
really,
exist
really
on
great.
video.
Yeah,
I think it's
gonna
always
be
gonna
pirate
exist.
video is going to be about the best.
Which, you know what, is also interesting because the very first line Too Much Information was destroyed by MTV,
Yeah.
and then within months you guys do an MTV Unplugged. What is the deal with that?
We're hypocrites.
I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking, you know, it's the way to get people is to get people on your side is to insult them.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that it?
CNN had rhymed. It could have been them, you know.
Yeah.
It's just
It's actually Destroy My MTV.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Yeah, because you know there's that whole, they had that whole kind of that slogan, I want my MTV. Well, I wanted to kind of write the opposite, Destroy My MTV.
Okay. Folks outside, you okay? Yeah?
It's a bit chilly out there, isn't it? Are you,
They've been up there for hours.
if you all squeeze really close together, you know, you get much warmer.
What's the body count on the day so far?
You know what? It's into hundreds and thousands now.
Millions, I
I
think.
believe.
Millions.
No, seriously. There was like at least, I don't know, 1,000 over down there at the store, and we've got
Right,
hundreds
yeah.
outside here. So
Yeah.
it's getting insane. I want to talk to you about a couple of faxes we got. Okay, one is very cool. People really get into artwork when they send faxes for
really-
Duran Duran. Check it out. Okay, this one is from, let's see here, Brad in Calgary. And he says, when the heck are you coming to Calgary? You've been promising for years. I'll even chip in for your traveling expenses.
Do you know what,
Brad, we're going to
Brad?
hold you to that.
You know what, Brad? We're coming really soon, you know what I mean?
What does that mean? And then it says from Mike in Brampton, are you going to be touring for the Thank You album?
No, we're not touring.
You're not gonna tour at all?
No, because we've got our own music in progress back in London. I think it's important for this group to write, and it's been a long time since we've written. We have to keep that thing going.
Okay, and then we got this one.
Very good.
This one's quite cool.
Isn't it?
Can we just zero in on that, Connie? Check it out. Caricatures of you guys. Read it out, Simon. You can see it.
Okay.
Oh, you just took it off?
Sorry.
That's okay.
Nick wrote, we're here to promote our new album, thank you. Me, we've covered everybody from Dylan to The Doors. Warren, it's definitely the best thing we've ever done. Album? We made an album? When did that happen?
And who's that from?
That's
Joe
from
Grimshaw.
Joe Grimshaw for JGM, for JMG Graphics, 386 Route
Oh
11,
yeah, okay.
Champlain.
All right, that's very nice. Okay, thanks a lot.
Well, that was the-
Shameless plugs. Shameless plugs. I'll tell you what. We also have a speaker's corner. Do you guys know what that is?
No, well we have one in London. It's the same
When?
kind of thing.
When?
Sunday.
Oh
And
yeah.
on Sunday, anybody can go up and